All right, let's dive into something pretty incredible. Back in 2025, a couple of breakthroughs happened that are poised to completely change how we fight Alzheimer's disease. Today, we're going to break down exactly how these discoveries could totally flip our understanding of brain health and aging. So, get this. What if we could spot one of the most feared diseases on the planet? Not with some complicated, expensive brain scan, but just by looking into your eyes? And what if we could do it a full decade before the first signs of memory loss even show up? Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, let's unravel how it's becoming reality. To really get how this is possible, we have to start with this amazing discovery from late 2025. A team at Harvard stumbled upon a kind of secret, protective ingredient that's naturally floating around inside every healthy human brain. Now, when I say lithium, I know what you're thinking. Batteries, right? But it turns out tiny, trace amounts of lithium are a totally normal and actually essential part of our brain's own defense system. It's supposed to be there, just quietly doing its job, protecting our nerve cells 24/7. This is the perfect way to think about it. It's not some foreign medicine. It's more like the brain's built-in armor. It helps stop all that gunk, those damaging proteins from building up and causing problems. It's literally like rust-proofing for your brain's wiring. Okay, so that's what's supposed to happen. But what happens when that natural shield, that rust-proofing, starts to get weak? Well, that's where the connection to Alzheimer's disease comes roaring in. You see, researchers found that in the very earliest stages of Alzheimer's, the lithium levels in crucial memory areas like the hippocampus just plummet. And without that shield, the nerve cells are left totally exposed. And all that toxic stuff, that brain garbage, starts to pile up, clogging the whole system. And look at this chart. We're not talking about a small dip here. It's a massive, dramatic drop. It's like the brain's entire defense force just vanishes, leaving it wide open to attack. This gives us a whole new and honestly a much simpler way to think about this disease. What if Alzheimer's, at its core, is basically a brain battery failure, a power outage that happens because the key element that keeps it charged, natural lithium, is running low? But here's where it gets wild. The researchers found that the very first warning sign of this battery drain, it doesn't even show up in the brain. Nope, it appears somewhere else entirely years earlier. And that's somewhere else? It's the retina. The back of your eye. Turns out, the retina is basically a piece of your brain that you can see from the outside. It's a direct, literal window into our neurological health. So why the eye? Well, for one, its network of tiny blood vessels is almost an exact copy of the ones in our brain. But here's the absolute kicker. Subtle little changes in blood flow and thickness start showing up in the retina long before anyone feels confused or forgets a name. And this is where it all clicks. This is where our two big clues, the failing lithium shield in the brain and this window in the retina, come together in one single piece of technology that could honestly change everything. It's called an OCT scan. And before you think this is some futuristic gadget, it's not. This technology is already sitting in tons of eye clinics right now. All it does is use light to take a super detailed 3D picture of the blood vessels in your eye. And the test itself couldn't be easier. Seriously, you just look into a machine, it takes a picture in a few seconds, and that's it. It's completely painless. Then the software analyzes that picture, looking for those tiny, telltale changes that might be the first hint that the brain's lithium battery is running low. So, what's the bottom line here? What does this all add up to? 10 years. A potential 10-year head start. I mean, just think about that. Knowing your risk a full decade before your memory starts to fade, that is a game-changing amount of time to do something about it. Okay, so let's pull all this together, because when you really connect our eye health this directly to our brain health, the implications are just, wow, they're huge. The big takeaway from all this is actually super simple, but it's so powerful. Getting a regular, advanced eye exam isn't just about checking your prescription for glasses anymore. It could become one of the most important things you do for your long-term brain health. Protecting your vision literally could mean protecting your brain. And that just leaves us with one final thought to chew on. As this tech gets out there, that routine trip to the eye doctor, well, it might not just be about seeing the world more clearly today, but about making sure you can remember it tomorrow. So the question becomes, could your next eye exam actually save your memory?